Mariah Carey, Dream Lover on Freedom FM, and before that it was Sean. And if you liked the cut of his jib, well, the good news is he'll be back on your speakers or possibly in your headphones next Sunday at 8 p.m. So go on, circle it, start in your calendar, or scribble it on the back of a napkin. Whatever works, just make sure you're here for Sean then. That, however, is the future. But for the here and now, it's you, me, and this beautifully bonkers 2 hours late night radio show. My name is Feargal, and this, my friend, is the Way Too Early Night Cruise. A show smoother than woolly sheets and cozier than waiting for a bus in the freezing rain. Why? Well, because as well as the music, coming up in the second hour, we'll be serving up a little sonic sorcery with our love slowed down game. While in this hour, I've got to say it's my favourite part of early Monday morning mischief, namely our I Know What You Did Last Weekend segment, and I will explain more about both of those in a few moments' time. Now, if you would like to get in touch this morning, I'm sure, why wouldn't you? Then you can text or WhatsApp me on 086 206 8888. That's 086 206 8888. If you're more into rockin' vintage vibes with email, then it's hello@freedomfm.ie. And on the socials, just search voice actor Fergs, no dots, no dashes, just one word, and you might find me. Right, with all that said and done, why not grab a blanket, top up whatever is in that mug, and let's turn the night into a mood, shall we? And we'll do that in 3, 2, 1. Michael Bublé, smooth as melted chocolate on a warm croissant, and just as irresistible, wouldn't you say? And that was his 2009 hit, I Haven't Met You Yet, on Freedom FM's Way Too Early Night Cruise. Now, as you know, it is Monday morning, but let's be honest, for those of us still awake, it kind of still feels like Sunday evening. And that, of course, gives us the chance to relive your weekend highs and lows before the reality of Monday morning's return to work kicks in a few hours' time. So, without any further time wasting, let's get into our I Know What You Did Last Weekend segment, shall we? So, tell me, how was your weekend? Was it a whirlwind, a washout, or a wonder? Did you hit the high street or hide under the duvet? Whatever had your heart racing or your feet dragging, we nosy lot here on the Night Cruise want to hear all about it. But you know what? Before you tell us what you got up to, I think it's only fair that I tell you what I did. On Friday, kicked off with me pretending I'm still 20, so I played a bit of touch rugby in the park. Saturday, took a fistful of ibuprofen because of Friday night and headed out to Dulnera to enjoy a bit of their coastal festival in the sunshine, followed by a meal at my favourite curry house in Dublin. Sunday, well, I went to see the old man in the morning, then went back to hers where we made some food for a few guests we had over before coming into the studio here to play some tunes for you. I think you'll agree, not the most exciting of weekends, but you know what? This show isn't about me, it's all about you, so don't make me beg, but I will if I have to. Tap a text off, fire a WhatsApp to 086 206 8888. That's 086 206 8888. Drop me your weekend tales, funny, flirty, or flat out bizarre. We want to hear everything, so let's turn this early Monday morning into a mosaic of your moments on 086 206 8888. We're ready when you are. Across Leinster on DAB+, streaming worldwide on freedomfm.ie and in your phone on the Freedom FM app, you're tuned to the Way Too Early Night Cruise. And I can tell you that while Lady A were doing their thing, I cracked open our oversized scrapbook of 90s and noughties nostalgia and landed smack bang in November 1995, where here in Ireland we made history as the divorce referendum squeaked through, and just days later none other than President Bill Clinton popped in for some Barry's tea and talks. Meanwhile, across the Irish Sea, Manchester United's Eric Cantona started serving his 8-month timeout for going full karate kick into the crowd. One of those moments you don't forget, even if you try. And at the flicks, well, we were lining up for GoldenEye, Pierce Brosnan striding onto the screen, Bond in brogues, suave, sharp, and just Irish enough to make your mammy proud. It's the Way Too Early Night Cruise on Freedom FM, where we are squeezing the very last drops out of your weekend by opening the window on your life between Friday evening and Saturday night to find out what wonderful or woeful adventures you've been having over the last 72 hours. And a part of the show we like to call I Know What You Did last weekend. And one person who has been in touch to share his news is Kieran O'Sullivan in Dublin. Hey, Feargal, he says, Saturday night was pure nostalgia. My better half, Aoife, and I hopped into a time machine, a cab, and landed squarely in the late 70s and early 80s, an era that, due to my young age, is a bit foggy for me. A time, though, when singer Leo Sayer was more of a sound than a face, but hearing You Made Me Feel Like Dancing on the radio always made my feet twitch as a nipper. Anyway, fast forward to Saturday night, and there we were, herself and myself, front row out of the board, gosh, watching Leo light up the stage. What a voice, what a vibe. Felt like stepping inside a memory. Ladies and gentlemen, stop the clocks because we've just had a live dispatch from the disco dimension. Kieran and Aoife going back to when air was high, colours were white, and Leo Sayer ruled the airwaves like a glitter-covered king. Kieran, it has to be said, he's still got it, hasn't he? I heard him a while back with a voice that could charm frost off a freezer, I'm telling you. Anyway, thank you for reaching out. Now, look here, because this WhatsApp is from Niamh Doherty in Cork. Feargal, Sunday was straight out of a postcard. My husband, Ronan, and I set off from Cork and popped down to Baltimore Harbour. Then we hopped aboard a ferry to tick off a long-time bucket list dream to see the mighty Fastnet Lighthouse. There it stood, dramatic as ever, perched like it's guarding the edge of the world. The weather was so perfect it felt like the sky was showing off. Salt in the air, sunshine on the waves, and a memory stamped with magic. Niamh, that sounds like a Sunday adventure scripted by Mother Nature herself, and 1 week ahead of the famous yacht race. You beat the pros at their own games. Thank you for reaching out. Now, listen up, because here's a question for you. What lit up your weekend? Whether it was wild, mild, or somewhere gloriously in between, we want to know all about it. Text or WhatsApp your stories to 086 206 8888. That's 086 206 8888. And let's sprinkle this Monday morning with some more memory magic, shall we? You're tuned to the Way Too Early Night Cruise here on Freedom FM, where smooth beats, soft memories, and a sprinkle of 90s and noughties magic help the morning hours drift by just right. Now, before we tiptoe into the next hour, let's do one last loop around the weekend block with our final round of I Know What You Did Last Weekend. Part of a Monday morning where we catch up on the adventures you had over the last 72 hours. And first up, Clodagh Finnegan in Galway checked in. Feargal, she says, Saturday was high-octane heaven. My husband Darren and I revved up our weekend with a trip out to Gort for the Galway hill climb. I can tell you, the engines growling like lions, the smell of petrol hanging in the air, and every type of car you can dream of was tearing up the tarmac on the lakeside hill. It was loud, absolutely thrilling, and you wouldn't think timing cars up a hill would feel like a sporting symphony, but there we were, cheering, grinning, and loving every screech and swerve. Clodagh, take a bow, because that message just shifted us in the studio into top gear. Sounds like you and Dara had a blast on Saturday, surrounded by horsepower, heartbeats, and hillside adrenaline. Thank you for reaching out. Now, finally this morning, I can tell you that your friend and mine, Owen Mulcahy in Clontarf, has been on. Feargal, Sunday was unreal. I was ambushed in the best way possible by the legend herself, my lovely wife Siobhan. She surprised me with tickets to the summer sessions at Malahide Castle. Can you picture it? Dusk settling in and the turrets glowing like something out of a fairy tale, and the air filled with 90s throwback bangers that made everyone feel 22 again. Then came Cold Place, not a tribute act, but a transformation. They turned the castle lawn into a mini version of Croke Park from last summer. I have to say they are the best cover band I've ever heard, and all that under a warm night with a cool crowd. I'm telling you, Owen, Malahide Castle under the summer stars, that's not really a gig, is it? It's kind of like a cinematic experience. Throw in 90s covers to stir the soul, then Cold Place, which has to be said are a Coldplay cover band so good, I think they make Chris Martin sound like their understudy. Thanks for reaching out, Owen. Now, to everyone who else reached out, thank you for your messages, your memories, your emoji-heavy essays. I see and love them all, and if I didn't get to read yours out tonight, hold tight, because there's always next Monday. So mark it, share it, don't miss it. We'll do it all again just after midnight. And for now, stay where you are, because love slowed down. Well, that's coming up next.